nearly all the costs of Medicaid expansion are paid by the federal government. It would generate $2 billion, create over 20,000 jobs a year, and save the state $400 million, which is more than enough to pay for our share.
Adam went on a speaking tour over the last week or week and a half, spreading the good news of solidarity. So, Adam, talk to us about where all you went, what all you talked about, how it was received, how many people you talked to. You talked to a total of an impressive amount of people. At one point, it was over 1,000 between all of your speaking gigs. Did it ever reach 2?
No, I don't know that it got up that high. And definitely, I was not sure if it was going to be over 1,000. I think it certainly was over 500 folks that I talked to over like a 7-8 day stretch.
Gotcha.
Still a lot of people. A lot of people to talk to. Started off the week at a rally for Palestine here in Huntsville at Big Spring Park. Appreciated the invitation to speak as a labor union activist and talk about the calls for a ceasefire that have come from our labor movement. Had my IOTC 900 meeting last week, and also was invited to the Shoals Democrats. So went out to Sheffield, Northwest Alabama. Got a chance to talk about my work and my story and the intersection of labor and politics. Had a chance to speak to quite a few Democratic parties across North Alabama over the past few months. And try to get a message out about labor solidarity, about organizing, and really about the dire situation facing working people here in this state. So on that note, Saturday was a national day of action for the Poor People's Campaign, a national call for moral revival. Reverend William Barber is kind of leading up these efforts. So on Saturday, this past Saturday, there were rallies and marches at over 30 state capitals as well as D.C. And so I appreciated the opportunity to attend the one in Montgomery. It was a really cool event, really cool crowd. I got a chance to talk about Medicaid expansion, and I'll mention that in a sec, but really appreciated just getting to be among, folks who care about poor folks. And I ran into union siblings from the CWA, also United Campus Workers, the UAW was there, quite a few workers who are organizing at Hyundai in Montgomery. So it was great to chat with them. Met some fans of the show, in fact. Some of these union folks actually are fans of the Valley Labor Report. That is always a little mind-blowing to me when I run into people out and about who actually tune in and listen to this program and find some value in it. So that's really cool. Jobs to Move America folks were there, Alabama Rise members, met a couple of Catholic nuns who have been longtime Alabama Rise members. They were there, these older sisters who were right there marching along with the rest of us. And so it was a great crowd. I thought it really was an opportunity to lift up the struggles that poor people experience in this state and across this country. One of the themes is to wake the sleeping giant of poor and low-income workers throughout this country who are typically politically disengaged, but really are a sleeping giant. And if we could awaken the power that we have when we come together, that's a lot of what we talked about. And, on in terms of Medicaid expansion, it is just so past time to do this. I spoke on that subject on behalf of Cover Alabama's coalition. And, for us in the labor movement, we always say an injury to one is an injury to all. And some of us really do believe that. Like, we take that seriously. And that means, an injury to one is an injury to all means that we have to recognize injustice that's faced by our neighbors, and we have to have their back when they face this injustice. So that's why, I stand in solidarity with the hundreds of thousands of Alabamians who are needlessly suffering because Alabama is one of only 10 states that has an expanded Medicaid. It's ridiculous. These folks earn too much to qualify for the strict Medicaid in this state, but not enough to afford health care. So you've got hundreds of thousands of our neighbors caught in this health care coverage gap, and they could gain coverage through Medicaid expansion. Nearly all the cost of Medicaid expansion are paid by the federal government. It would generate an annual economic impact of nearly $2 billion, create over 20,000 jobs a year, and save the state almost $400 million per year, which, by the way, is more than enough to pay for our share.
Hey, 5 seconds. Just wanted to say that this is only possible because of our donors. If you want to see more of this, then consider donating yourself at tvlr.fm/donate.
And from students entering the workforce to the newly disabled leaving the workforce, from the cooks to the cashiers, from the bartenders to the barbers, too many people are caught in this healthcare coverage gap. So definitely encourage those of you who live in Alabama to go to coveralabama.org, get plugged into the campaign, join us in calling for Governor Ivey and the legislature to do the right thing. We thought that we were making progress, and perhaps we still can, but we need more people engaged in this. I mean, how many people must die? How many more must die while we wait for this? It's long past time to implement this proven policy solution to save the lives of our brothers and sisters and improve many more. It's long past time that Alabama uplift its people, its economy, and its healthcare system by expanding Medicaid. It's time to finally put people above politics and invest in humanity. So I was really appreciative of that opportunity to speak on these issues with Medicaid expansion. Yeah, it's always an honor to speak up for working people anywhere I've got an opportunity. I don't know. I take it seriously that people have to speak up. And we have to speak up for what's right. And, I always appreciate invitations anywhere I can go and spread the good word of solidarity and unionism. Hey, I'm happy to take you up on that. We have to keep educating and agitating and organizing wherever we can, whenever we can, so that we can strengthen this movement, so we can build working class power. I mean, that's what it's all about. We have to keep connecting with folks in this fight, the fight for a better Alabama, the fight for a better South, the fight for a better country and a better world. So yeah, I loved the opportunity. And finally, last weekend on Sunday, I was in Selma. It was the 59th anniversary of Bloody Sunday. The Selma Jubilee events were taking place. I heard the vice president was there, Kamala Harris. I didn't get to see her. I saw her choppers flying away, but wasn't that close. I had some thoughts to share with her, but she was not close enough for me to share those thoughts, unfortunately. Or perhaps fortunately.
Yeah, probably better for your career.
Yeah, probably better. Yeah, my wife didn't have to come up with bail money, so that's great. But yeah, I got a chance. The League of Women Voters and the NAACP hosted a Next Generation Powering Democracy event. And there were about 500 college students there, and even some high school and middle school students there, along with, just other folks of all ages who were in attendance. And got to hear from students from around the state, and that was really powerful. Got a chance to talk about organizing and the power of solidarity. And so I wanted to share those quick words about organizing with y'all, get your feedback, and just tell me what you think about it. But I thought it was pretty well received, and was glad to share that with a diverse audience, a younger audience. But what I said was, my name is Adam Keller. I'm an organizer with Alabama Arise, a statewide nonprofit coalition fighting poverty at the public policy level. I'm also a labor union activist and proud member of IATSE, CWA, North Alabama Labor Council, and the Valley Labor Report. I'm a lifelong Southerner, a father, a husband, and a member of the working class. And I'm so proud of everyone who is engaged in the fight for a better Alabama. In the labor movement, we have an old mantra: educate, agitate, organize. That is our mission. That is our calling, to build people power. Organizing is about moving others to collective action. Organizing is about not just what you can do to make a difference, but who you can do it with and how many others you can get involved. Organizing is about turning hostile folks into neutral folks, turning neutrals into supporters, turning supporters into activists, and growing activists into leaders. The name of the game is addition and multiplication, not subtraction and division. We have to organize everywhere. Yes, at the ballot box, but we can't stop there. We have to organize in our neighborhoods and our communities. We have to organize in our workplaces. We have to organize on our campuses and in our churches, online and off, wherever we can reach folks and grow solidarity. Despite Alabama's dark history, always there have been brave Alabamians who dared to defend our rights. And always young people have been at the forefront fighting for change, just as they are today leading resurgent labor unions and global calls for peace. As we face multiple layers of existential crisis bearing down upon us, we must all act now to win a future we can believe in. And the way we can make that happen, the way we can win this future and the many demands discussed today, is to build a mass movement of the everyday people, to unite the diverse working class majority, to build a movement rooted in love, justice, and solidarity that can fight back against the forces of bigotry, exploitation, and oppression. We must respond to organized greed with organized people. We must respond to organized hate with organized love. Change typically comes from the bottom up. Throughout the history of this country, every inch of progress was fought for from below. I truly believe a better world is possible, but only if we come together and fight for it. Solidarity forever, y'all.
There you go. Pretty cool. Lots of folks across the state hearing a message like that. They don't get to hear messages like that very often. So glad to have Adam traversing the state, doing stuff like that.
You just saw a clip from the Valley Labor Report. We are live every Saturday morning from 9:30 a.m. till 12:30 p.m. And we pride ourselves on keeping all of our content free to everybody so that we can talk to as many working folks as possible. If you support the work that we're doing, you think that it's important, you think that it's good, then consider making a monthly contribution to the project, and you can do that on our website, tvlr.fm.